welcome to Cooking with Amira. Today we are making chicken jalfrezi. It's a nice simple dish, really easy to make. I've already put the oil in, bismillah, and I'm going to add the onions in. Some people prefer to make it with chicken breast. If you make it with chicken breast, I don't think you need to fry the chicken with the onions first. But I'll try making that a different day. I prefer chicken thigh leg tikka because it's softer. And if you're going to eat it the next day, it still tastes nice and succulent. I'm going to let it brown a little bit. And this time just a little less than what I did with the chicken karai that I made. Because I'm going to add in the peppers in later and let it melt. So what I've done with the onions, as I've browning them off, I'm going to add in a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of garam masala. In chicken jalfrezi, usually, bismillah, you don't actually put in garam masala. I'm putting it right now because I'm going to brown up the chicken thigh, boneless thigh. I don't want it to give it a bit of a raw smell. So this gives it a nice aroma. So just about, I think I did about half a teaspoon of garam masala. Let it brown off a bit and then I'll add in the chicken thigh. Okay, so I've let that cook for about 3 or 4 minutes. And you can hear it all sizzling. So I'm going to add in, bismillah rahman rahim, 2 pounds of chicken thigh. And I'm going to let it brown off. Juices run dry. Not too much this time though, because I'm going to put it into cooking a little bit later for a bit longer. So I'll tell you how long it took me to brown it all off. I've left the onions chunky in this one because of the chicken jalfrezi. Otherwise I would have cut them a lot slimmer. Okay then, so I'll let it cook. Bismillah. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes. It's cooked near enough, but not too brown, because it's going to cook further. To separate the chicken, I use this. So the oil comes through, some of the onions come through, and the only thing that's left is a bit of the chicken. So I do try to check the onions off and pop it in this bowl. Bismillah. If some of the onions come out, it doesn't matter. That's the whole point. They're nice and chunky, because when I add them in at the end, it'll give a nice oniony taste to the jalfrezi as well. Because the most important bit about jalfrezi is like there's a lot of nice bits in it. So I'm just going to take all of that out. So all the chicken is out. I can put that to a side now. Okay, so now I'm going to add in the tomatoes I've blitzed in the food processor. Just makes everything a lot quicker. I'm going to add in the garlic and ginger paste. I've put in 3 teaspoons of garlic and ginger paste. There were 5 tomatoes. Put in high heat. I'm going to add in 2 green bullet chilies, chopped up and popped in. Bismillah. And half of the coriander that I've cut up. I'm going to let it cook. And once it's cooked and the ghee starts separating, that's when I'm going to add in the spices and the tomato puree to give it colour. So I'm going to let that cook for a bit. Okay, so I'm going to add in the spices now. The spices I'm putting in are 2 teaspoons of turmeric powder, 2 teaspoons of ground cumin, 2 teaspoons of chili powder, and 2 teaspoons, heaped teaspoons of paprika, and 1 more teaspoon of salt. I'm adding that in there. As you can see, the tomatoes that are unripe don't give enough colour. That's why I've added in the paprika, and I'm also going to add in the Now that the ghee is separated from the oil and the colour has gone a bit red, I added the chicken in with the onions. And it doesn't matter if the onions are left, you just mix them in thoroughly. Add the rest of the coriander in that you had put aside. This gives it a nice new fresh aroma, and it makes it smell nice as well. So we've put that in, coated it around into the pan, give it a little bit of a mix for about a minute or 2. Until I can see the colour starting to come up. Once the ghee is separated about 4 minutes, I add in the 2 green peppers. You can add in more, it's on your own preference. If you like peppers, you can add in more. And I'll mix them around. And after 5 minutes, I add in half a cup of yogurt. And I put that in. Again, that'll tenderize the meat and it gives it that masala type restaurant feeling when you taste it. A yogurt is always a nice touch to any masala dish. And I'll mix it again until the ghee separates and the colour comes back to what it was. There's a nice red colour now, as you can see, and the oil has definitely separated and it looks absolutely divine and it smells delicious. So I'll add in the Slit Bullet Chillies for an extra added touch, and I'll cover it for about 5 to 10 minutes. And once it's been 5 to 10 minutes, take off the lid, and alhamdulillah, it's come out perfect and it tastes really, really nice. You can serve this with naan if you like, or you can have it with a side of white rice. That tastes nice as well. And it has a really nice jalfrezi restaurant taste, and you'll be able to smell the aromas as well, and it just tastes delicious. You can put a little bit less oil in, that's your own preference. And the peppers have to be soft, so they don't have a crunch to it, so make sure you check that, and then leave it aside, and then it's done. Alhamdulillah.